Hi, ich bin Marco von iDoc.
Hi, I'm Marco from iDoc. If you dropped your iPhone and the display cracked, this video shows you how to fix your iPhone yourself. The repair is a bit more difficult because the display is heavily glued in place and you should plan about 30 to 60 minutes. We recommend the following tools for the repair. You can find the tools together with the spare part and the handy magnetic pad in our iDoc online shop. All links can be found in the video description. Have fun with the repair. Before the repair, turn off your iPhone to avoid short circuits. Press and hold the standby button and one of the volume buttons, and then confirm to switch off the phone. To remove the display, first remove the two Pentalobe screws to the left and right of the lightning connector. Apple uses special Pentalobe screws here. The links to all necessary tools can be found in the video description. The display is strongly glued, so you should heat the glue to remove the display. Use a heat gun or a hairdryer. Note, however, that the iPhone is no longer waterproof after a repair. Heat the edges of the display to about 60 degrees Celsius. Take care not to overheat the device. As a rule of thumb, always heat the device only so far that you can still touch the heated area with your hand. Heating softens the glue a little bit and lets you remove the display. Now grab your suction cup and stick it to the bottom of the display. Next, pull on the suction cup and insert a plectrum into the space between display and frame. If you have been able to push the plectrum in a little bit, move the plectrum once around the frame and lever the display slightly upwards. If you can't get a plectrum into the gap between the display and the frame, you can use a thinner tool like the iFlex. But be careful not to scratch the frame nor go too far into the device with the tool. Also, when working with the plectrum, be careful not to insert it too far into the device. Heat the edge repeatedly and gradually loosen the display adhesive. Be especially careful on the right side, where the display connection cables are located. If the display of your iPhone is heavily splintered, we recommend working with adhesive tape. Take a wide piece of tape and stick it directly onto the splintered display. Then the suction cup will hold better and no glass splinters will fall into the device. Once the glue is loosened all around, you can fold open the display. Don't unfold the display too much, or the cables might get strained and suffer damage. Put a stable object next to the iPhone to support the display and make your device doesn't slip away. First, unplug the battery to prevent short circuits. Like the other connectors on the logic board, the battery connector is under a bracket. Remove the bracket's various Y-type screws. Be careful they're not the same length. Apple uses special screws again, which have a Y-shaped profile. Use a suitable Y-type screwdriver to avoid damaging the heads. The Wiha Y000 was developed together with iDoc and fits perfectly on the screws in the iPhone XS. Now remove the bracket and put all parts in the same box of a magnetic pad. Now carefully pry off the battery connector with a plastic spudger and bend the cable to the side. The display unit is connected with 3 connectors. Disconnect the 3 connectors one by one with a spudger. One of the connectors is a bit lower. Be extra careful so you don't damage the logic board. The cable on the left for the ear cup is lightly glued to the cable underneath. Be particularly careful with the cable as there may be problems with Face ID if it is damaged. Once all connectors are off, you can remove the display. There may still be some glue residue on the frame and display. You have to remove and reuse the earpiece and the flex cable from the old display. For this, unscrew the 3 Y-type screws holding the earpiece. One of the 3 screws is covered with black tape. Again, be careful not to mix up the screws of different lengths. Now you can fold the slightly glued earpiece to the side. Pay attention to the thin, fragile flex cable that connects the earpiece and sensors. The flex cable is slightly glued in place. Use a hot air gun or an ordinary hairdryer to soften the glue. Slide a flat tool such as a spatula or tweezers under the flex cable very carefully. Be particularly careful with this cable as it can cause problems with Face ID if it is damaged. Then pry the various sensors out of their holders. Be very careful and take enough time to avoid damaging the fragile flex cable. Once all parts are off, you can take out the flex cable. Not all available displays are the same, so compare your new display with the old one. You might have to remove some slightly glued parts from the old display, such as the plastic holder for the front camera or sensors. With our replacement display from iDoc, everything is there and you can start right away with the reassembly. If there's a protective film on your replacement display, pull it off now. Put the flex cable in place and guide the sensors into their openings on the display. Make sure that the plastic sensor holders are installed in the display. They might come with your new display, or you have to take them out of the old one. Press in the sensors to make them sit. Then fold down the earpiece and place it over the screw holes. Fasten the earpiece screws again. Do not mix up the screws and do not tighten them too tightly as they may shine through at the front of the display. You should put on a new frame sticker to protect your iPhone against dust and spray water. Here in the video you can see the iPhone X, but the procedure is the same for the iPhone XS. First remove all glue residue, so the new glue will hold. But do remember that the iPhone will no longer be 100% waterproof. Before attaching the frame sticker, make sure it's aligned right. The corners and the holes for the camera show you which way is up or down. Now remove the first backing film. First put the frame smoothly on one side of the device and press it on slightly. Then press on the sticker all around. Make sure that the sticker stays inside of the frame all around. Grab a spudger to make the frame sticker hold properly. Now you can remove the second big carrier film. You can remove the last small part of film now or after connecting and testing the display. Leaving the film on prevents the display from sticking too early. Place the display unit on the edge of the frame and lean it to a stable object so the sensitive flex cables don't get strained. Make sure your device doesn't slip away. Connect the 3 display connectors. Use your tweezers to position the earpiece connector over its socket. Carefully press the connector onto its socket. Don't slide them around over their logic board sockets or the contacts might get damaged. Now you can plug in the battery connector. Then attach the bracket plate and fasten it using the Y-type screws. You can now do a quick test to make sure the parts in your new display, such as the earpiece and proximity sensor, are working right. Carefully fold down the display, but don't press it onto the frame yet. Now press and hold the standby button to start your device. Go to the control center to test the brightness of your device. You can check if the touchscreen responds everywhere by taking any app and dragging it all along the edges of the display. You can use the Voice Memos app to test the earpiece by just making a short recording and playing it back. If everything works fine, you can go on and close the device. If the touchscreen or the earpiece isn't working right, it could be because the connectors aren't sitting right or the flex cables are damaged. Now carefully fold and close the display. Make sure the display is sitting right before you press it on. Gradually press down the display so it's sitting on the frame right. Press on the display a while to let the glue bond. Now you can fasten the Pentalobe screws at the lower end of the iPhone. Your iPhone is fixed now and we hope it was fun for you. If you have any questions, just write a comment or check out the photo guide on our website. There you can also find spare parts and high-quality tools in our online shop. To support us, subscribe to our channel and give the video a thumbs up. See you next time.